I Can Do It On My Own, shuffling around in its stall. They're off and they're racing, and from the inside, the first to go, Truly Sweet, jumping away quickly, though I Can Do It On My Own. My Zoom's got abundance of early speed, charging forward, and so's Highly Spoken, coming right across, and is going to take them on for the front, going down the back. In behind those, next of all, when they got going into stride, is Toby, and better than midfield. Bankroll next to the rail, Sentimental Legend goes back. Over on the inside, next of all, is Tacit We Want. Tani Talk also white right back in the field. It's second from last in front of Fulminay. Well, Highly Spoken pressed right on with things here, going out by the 1,000, and Assumed Control took over and led by a length. My Zoom running second, and they're being followed over on the inside by I Can Do It On My Own. Then Truly Sweet pops away off heels now, finds a bit of cover behind the back of My Zoom out onto the side. Then 2 lengths Tobian and Bankroll together, a length and a half, and patiently handled Sentimental Legend back in the field. Over on the inside next is Tacit We Want. Second last, Tani Talk is going to follow the faves every move as they work down the side towards the home turn. And back there near enough to last is Fulminay. Straightening up, Highly Spoken, joined and headed by My Zoom as they set sail for the judge. My Zoom explodes to the lead. I Can Do It On My Own battling away behind it. 2 lengths Sentimental Legend. It's beginning to hit overdrive. Tani Talk right back in the field there. It's struggling. The favourite though is it at the 150. It's stormed up, grabbed the lead, put pay to them, and is running away. This is going to be a walk in the park for Sentimental Legend. Sentimental Legend won in a canter from I Can Do It On My Own. A distant third, Tani Talk. Then Tobian, followed home by Highly Spoken. My Zoom gave up after shooting to the lead around the turn. Truly Sweet further back, followed home by Tacit We Want. Fulminay was always back there near the tail end of the field, and Bankroll had finished back there with it as well. Sentimental Legend, William Pike for Grant and Delana Williams, walks in at its second run in the campaign and has won with plenty in reserve. Still plenty to learn. Clearly looking at that today, this 3-year-old son of Brutal from Sentimental Star. Number 2, Sentimental Legend, far too good for I Can Do It On My Own. Jade McNaught has run well at long odds. Tani Talk, who they back right in, and got back into the field but made no impact whatsoever, and has finished a well-beaten distant third. The winner's owned by Mrs. J.M. Hawkins, by Brutal from Sentimental Star, having just his third lifetime start with Grant and Delana Williams. Willie Pike there aboard. Second home, I Can Do It On My Own, a Deucimus mare, trained by Chris Willis. Jade McNaught the rider. Tani Talks a Machino gelding from Chatter Session, S.J. Miller and Brad Parnham. Other details to come. Race 6 at 5 o'clock, the Reliable Asset Maintenance Handicap. We go back to the short course, 1,000 metres. No changes to come in the third leg of the quaddie. The time for that race is 1:40.21, and the margins are 2.5 lengths by 2.5 as we take you down to Tess in the yard.
Well, I Can Do It On My Own. Very honest there, Scotty, but Sentimental Legend, clearly a bit of a class above here in this field, was just too good, able to run her down, come over the top of them, get the job done, and a really impressive victory. Yeah, no doubt the next step for him is 1,800 metres, whether it's the JC Roberts in 10 days and you test him against the listed 3-year-olds, or whether you find a class 3, 1,800 around the traps for him. And I think he just looks like that classic horse of Grant and Delana Williams. It's going to get better and better with racing, better and better with distance, and it looks like that's just the start of bigger things to come for him. He was almost run off his legs first up there at the 1,400. He was chasing from a long way out. Today he still settled a long way off them, but you could see when Willie Pike pulled him to the outside and started to work him through his gears that he was just going to have way too much firepower for, with all due respect, his pretty limited opposition here today. I Can Do It On My Own there. She's a 4-year-old mare that's won 1 from 20, so he didn't beat up on much here today. It was more about just getting the job done, getting a little bit of confidence back, and he's now the winner of 2 from 3 with plenty of upside. So you'd be going out further and further in distance, and at some stage there's no doubt, as long as he stays in one piece, they'll test him when against his own age group, be it the 1,800 of the Roberts, the 22 of the Melvista, or even the 2,400 eventually at the WATC Derby. You'd imagine that's where he's likely to head in his short-term future. Absolutely right. Looks like he's only going to relish the ground in time as he makes his way still back here to return to scale. The headgear applied today. Scott touched on the success rate that the Williams camp camp do have when they apply headgear. Winker's on here today at start number 3. He takes out the Unite Resourcing handicap over the 1650. Great win for all involved, and some trying times obviously for the Williams camp, so it's always good to see them in the winner's circle producing good things. And this weekend, London's Image will go around in the Bunbury Stakes, so best of luck yet again to the camp.
Yeah, and she'll be hard to beat, London's Image, off what she produced in that Pinjarra Classic. The fact that she gets to the 1400 won't worry her in the slightest. She obviously went around in a Burgess Queen at 1400 and a Champion Fillies at a mile back in her Ryan Hill days, and now that Grant and Alana Williams have successfully reprogrammed her just to get her to settle a little bit better, to park off pace and then make a run at them late, she's definitely going to be hard to beat. Lucy Fiore's going to ride her on the weekend in London's Image, so hopefully she can go back-to-back in those features as well. But for Willie Pike, he's aboard the next favourite as well in Canny Kev, so he's on the board here. You've successfully fired him up, Tessa, after you gave him a little clip earlier on in the day, reminding him that he didn't ride a winner here last Wednesday. But eventually, after this winning photo, we'll get the wizard over and weighed in, and then we'll get a word on this galloper, Sentimental Legend, and the future that he may have. But in the end, those numbers are 2, 8, 3 and 6. There was plenty of money around for Tani Talk, who tried to follow the every move of this galloper, but did get caught 3 wide down the back, but also just didn't have the same level of acceleration when Willie Pike went. Brad Parnham couldn't go with him and was a floundering third in the end. There were some quite big beaten margins. Willie Pike joins us now. First up at the 14, Willie, just look, he was chasing, and today he was a little bit sharper.
Yeah, look, I thought his class would just get the job done first up, but just goes to show he's a giant big horse. Probably just needed that run to wake him up because he's a bit of a goof. Probably didn't beat a lot here today either, but he did it very well. And
at the top of the home straight, you were the only one that was really travelling, and he looked like he really stretched for the line.
He did, and that was sort of the difference last time. I think I was already stretched today. He was able to offer me that bit more ground, and he sort of clowned off a bit to the line. He pricked his ears and pulled up a tad, which I always like, means they're doing it easy.
And in the next Canny Kev, you rode him last start, and I'm sure from where you settled back in the field, you would have been pretty impressed at how close he got.
Yeah, he did very well. I would have liked to have been a 12 today, but that's all right. We'll take the 1,000, and just hopefully they don't keep running with only the dog leg bend. I think he liked the bend and being able to set a target and run at them. That's right. I won't swap him for anything else in the race.
Good luck.
Cheers.
There's Willie Pike. He's on the board here with Grant and Alana Williams. Sentimental Legend takes out the Unite Resourcing handicap over the 1650. 2 more to come out of Belmont Park today.